As I'm sure most of you know by now, there's no dominant team in college basketball this year. There's just a bunch of really, really good teams. These number 1 seeds would have been 2 seeds in last year's tournament, and these 2 seeds would have been like 3, 4, or 5 seeds. So, yeah. And while that should make for a fun and exciting first few rounds, I cringe when I think about what that potential Final Four might look like. You know, it was only 2 years ago when number 7 seed UConn and number 8 seed Kentucky squared off in the finals. I mean, can you imagine like a random final like that again? Like I don't know, Baylor and Colorado? Just pick out of a goddamn hat, and it just might happen. That's the ridiculous part. There is a team, however, one team that is on my radar and is beginning to emerge. And my favorite to win it all right now. It might surprise you guys because they're not a number 1 seed. They're not a number 2 seed. They're not even a number 3 seed in my latest bracketology. And the team I'm referencing is Kentucky. They were my preseason pick to win it all, and I'm sticking with it, just like I did last year with Duke. And, I really became a believer when the Wildcats went into Lawrence, Kansas, and put up the performance that they did. Even though it was a loss, that's when the light bulb really hit me. And although, just a few days later, they lost to Tennessee, they've rebounded in a huge way. 3 straight blowout wins against Georgia, Florida, and South Carolina. They've really, really clamped down defensively, holding the Bulldogs to 22%, Gators to 39%, and the Gamecocks to 32%, respectively. Kentucky has reached the Final Four in 4 of the last 5 tournaments, and while this team is not even close, nowhere near as talented as the 2012 national title team and the one from last year, it simply just doesn't have to be. Just like this college football season we just saw. I mean, and again, like I said in the intro, there aren't any great teams out there. Alabama just won it all again, and that Tide squad is by far the worst of Nick Saban's national title winners. There's one difference that I'm noticing, though, between this Wildcats team and the others in the recent past, because this one can play in the half court. When you think of John Calipari's teams, you think defense and getting out and running in transition. But what always got him in trouble in March were the teams that didn't turn the ball over, they slowed the pace down, and they made you play a half-court game. We saw that last year when Kentucky played Wisconsin. It happened in the Elite Eight against West Virginia in 2010, too, when, John Wall was limited on his fast break opportunities and was forced to take jump shots. That's obviously the big weakness in his game. This version's Wildcats team, they still run. They get out and run when they have to, but not as much. And Tyler Ulis, Jamal Murray, those guys, they can get their own shots when need be. So the clock's running down. You don't have to worry about it. They can go and, they can hit tough shots when that shot clock buzzer goes off. You need great guards to win in the big dance, and that's what Kentucky has in Ulis, Murray, and Isaiah Briscoe. Ulis, in my opinion, is the second best point guard in the country behind Chris Dunn, and Murray's game reminds me a lot of Ben Gordon's. You remember Ben Gordon when he was on Connecticut and, that little step-back three-pointer he always hit? Jamal Murray's got a little bit of that in him, too. This team also reminds me a lot of the 2013 Michigan team. They were a 4 seed that year, and, I picked them to make the Final Four. They actually went and reached the title game. Obviously, they had Trey Burke and Tim Hardaway leading the way in the backcourt. 2 X factors in March on this team are going to be Skal Labissière and Marcus Lee. And that gets me back to Michigan, because if you remember, that's when Mitch McGary really finally put it all together, and that was in March. And, you could argue that he was the best player on that team during that tournament run. Labissière has, he was touted as being the second best freshman in the country behind Ben Simmons in the preseason. Maybe that light bulb finally turns on in March, and it's going to have to be. It's going to have to if they want to cut down the net. So, that's where I'm going with this video today. Kentucky is going to be my pick to win it all, and if they do, I'm going to win another bracket pool, because no one else is probably going to pick Kentucky unless, they get really hot and they get a 2 seed, a 1 seed, and then everyone's going to pick them. But as of right now, that's my team, and I'm going to stick to it. I'm trying to find some other teams. I mean, I like Kansas a little bit. North Carolina is the favorite probably among many, but that team doesn't hit enough jump shots, in my opinion. Marcus Page can shoot, but other than that, they really got nobody else that can shoot it. And that concerns me. It really does. So North Carolina might be a team that makes the Final Four. They might even reach the title game, but I really don't think they're a team that's going to win it all. I don't know. They might, though. I mean, just like I said, this tournament field is going to be pretty bad. But I don't know. Villanova, they're the top team in the country right now, but we all know what they do in March. I mean, God, who are they playing in the second, third round? I mean, just you can book them out for a loss there. But yeah, I mean, who else? I don't know. I kind of like Oklahoma a little bit. I like Michigan State. I do like them a lot. I mean, no one shares the ball the way they do. Denzel Valentine is a stud. But, who else is out there? I don't know. Maybe we'll see like a mid-major team make the Final Four again. That brings me to Monmouth again. I love that team. I said that before. I love the Hawks. I love them, man. I really do. And I hope, y'all can find out all about Justin Robinson because he's a stud. But, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. The Bracketology, again, is in the comments section. It's in the description box. I'm going to do 2 of these a week now because we're getting down to the stretch. Got a month left till Selection Sunday, so 8 more of these videos, maybe more. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. See how much time I have on my hands. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. The team that made a big jump this weekend was Wisconsin. I mean, huge road win against Maryland, and the Terrapins, man. That's a team I don't like either. That team's very talented, but they kind of shy away from the big moment. I don't know. There's something about them that rubs me the wrong way. Melo Trimble's a little bit overrated in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not feeling that team. I mean, that they just didn't show up on Saturday. I mean, that was a bad loss. So that slid them out of my one line. They're now a 2 seed. So yeah, that's it. I'm done. Later. Peace.